If you've ever scrolled through Reddit late at night, chasing the kind of threads that start as curiosity and end as obsession, then you'll understand how I found the post that changed my life forever. The one that still wakes me up at 3 a.m. drenched in sweat, hearing sounds that don't belong in my head. And if you're watching this video right now, I need to tell you, don't ever try to find what I found, don't ever go where I went, because some corners of the internet aren't meant to be seen. They're meant to stay buried under layers of encrypted silence. And what hides there doesn't just haunt you, it rewrites who you are. It started innocently enough on a European tech subreddit, a thread titled Sites You Shouldn't Visit Even on Tour, and buried halfway down was a comment from a user named LaPetiteMort93, whose post had been upvoted thousands of times and locked by the mods with a single chilling note: link removed for safety reasons. But someone had archived it, and the comment said in bold letters, "Do not click this link. If you do, at least use Tor. I warned you." I remember my cursor hovering over it for a full minute, my rational mind saying no, my curiosity whispering yes, and as always, curiosity won. I copied the strange onion link, opened my Tor browser, heart pounding like it knew something I didn't, and when the page loaded, it wasn't like any site I'd ever seen. Just a black background with a single red countdown timer in the middle, ticking down from 5 o'clock, and a message beneath it that said, "Stream will begin shortly." My speakers hissed softly, then silence, and I told myself it was some kind of ARG, an art project maybe, something theatrical, but the dread in my stomach didn't agree. When the timer hit 0, the screen flickered, and a camera feed appeared. Grainy, low light, a basement maybe, European architecture, the kind of old cement walls and rusted pipes you only find in places with centuries of history buried beneath. A masked man walked into frame, tall, wearing a dark coat that looked military, and in his gloved hand was something that caught the faint light. A scalpel or knife, I couldn't tell. My mouse hovered over the exit, but I didn't click. I told myself I'd just watch for a few seconds more, just to prove it wasn't real. Then a second figure appeared. A woman, bound to a chair, duct tape over her mouth, her eyes wide and wet, and my entire body froze. There was no cinematic soundtrack, no editing. Just the raw sound of her breathing and the distant hum of machinery. A live chat popped up beside the video. Usernames scrolling fast, people typing in different languages, bidding in Bitcoin for what would happen next. My brain refused to believe it. I thought maybe it was staged, some twisted performance art, until the masked man turned to the camera and held up a handwritten sign that said, "Request complete, payment received." Then he reached for something on a table off-screen, and I won't describe what came next, not in detail, because even now the memory feels like a physical stain that no amount of washing could erase. I slammed my laptop shut, but the sound didn't stop. I realized too late I was wearing headphones, and the audio was still playing, her muffled screams echoing inside my skull. I yanked the cord out, and the silence that followed was worse than the noise. Couldn't sleep that night. I kept checking my window, my door. Every shadow in my flat in Prague seemed to move. The next morning, I convinced myself it had to be fake. The human mind always looks for lies that comfort. But when I opened Reddit again, that post was gone, deleted from every cache, and the user LaPetiteMort93 had been banned. I tried messaging the mods, but their response was brief. "Do not discuss that link again. Accounts have been compromised." That word, compromised, kept echoing. I checked my IP logs, my network traffic, everything looked normal. But that night, my webcam light blinked once, just once, and I swear I hadn't touched a thing. I covered it with tape, unplugged my router, and tried to forget. Days passed, then a week. My mind began stitching rationality over the horror, the way you paint over water damage pretending the wall beneath is fine. But one evening, while cleaning my downloads folder, I noticed a new file, Stream Capture _01 before. The timestamp matched that night. My hands trembled as I right-clicked and checked properties. The file size was enormous, several gigabytes, and the metadata said it was created remotely by an unknown process. I didn't open it. I deleted it instantly, emptied my bin, and for good measure, smashed the hard drive with a hammer. I bought a new laptop, reinstalled everything fresh, but somewhere deep down, I knew digital ghosts don't die so easily. Months passed. I moved cities from Prague to Vienna, new job, new apartment, new number, pretending to start over. I told no one. But then, one evening, while scrolling YouTube, I stumbled on a channel discussing dark web mysteries. And in their thumbnail was a still image I recognized instantly. That same basement, that same chair, and even though the video claimed it was an urban legend, the chill that ran through me said otherwise. I clicked it against every survival instinct, and the narrator said the footage had first surfaced on a private stream in 2018, traced to servers in Eastern Europe, later connected to a series of disappearances in Hungary and Poland. My chest tightened. They showed an enhanced still, and behind the victim, blurred in the shadows, was a reflection in a metallic surface that looked horrifyingly like my old webcam setup. Same model, same sticker on the corner. I shut the video off immediately, my hands shaking so hard I nearly dropped my phone. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every sound outside felt like someone approaching. Around 2 a.m., a soft knock came from my door. Not loud, just deliberate, 3 times, evenly spaced. I froze. After a minute, silence again. I didn't open it. The next morning, I found no footprints, no camera footage, nothing. But taped to my door was a small envelope with no name. Only a single Bitcoin address written inside. I don't know why, but I checked the balance online. It contained exactly the amount shown in that Red Room's bidding screen that night. My blood ran cold. I called the police, tried to explain, but they treated me like a paranoid lunatic. No evidence, no crime, no jurisdiction. I stopped sleeping altogether. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that red timer counting down. I left my apartment eventually, checked into a hostel near Salzburg, pretending to be just another traveler. But fear follows you like a scent. One night, while sitting in the hostel lounge, I overheard 2 men whispering in broken English about the red stream returning soon. I pretended not to understand, but their accent was Eastern European, and one of them wore a pendant shaped like an eye. The same symbol I'd seen faintly carved on the wall behind the masked man in that video. I left that night, caught the first train west, didn't even pack my things. For weeks, I moved from hostel to hostel, city to city, crossing borders like a ghost, Munich, Lyon, Brussels. Everywhere I went, I used cash, changed SIM cards, but sometimes my new phone still vibrated once with no caller ID, and when I answered, silence. Not static. Silence. Eventually, exhaustion broke me. I returned home to England, thinking maybe distance would protect me. Maybe oceans of normal life would wash away what I'd seen. I started a YouTube channel, ironically, to talk about dark web myths, to exorcise the memory by turning it into content, and people loved it. They called me brave, they asked for more, they begged for stories about the red rooms, and each time I told them, I warned them. Never click strange links, never trust Reddit at 3 a.m., but secretly each upload felt like feeding the same evil I was trying to forget. Then, 1 week ago, I got an email. No subject, no sender, just a single attachment named stream capture _02 MP4. I almost deleted it, but curiosity is the slowest kind of suicide. I opened it. The first few seconds were black screen, then static, then me, sitting in my own room recording one of my dark web videos. The timestamp was from 2 days before. I checked every device, every camera, nothing was live. I've since formatted everything, disconnected entirely, and yet somehow, I can still hear faint clicking sounds through the walls, as if someone is still watching through a signal that doesn't need Wi-Fi or wires. I don't know if it's psychological or if what I clicked all those months ago was more than a stream. Maybe it was a doorway, maybe once you enter you can't ever truly leave. Sometimes, when I wake up at night, I see a faint red glow flickering on my ceiling, and I realize it's not light leaking in, it's reflection. The same shade of red as that countdown timer. I'm telling you this not for sympathy, but as a warning. The dark web isn't a place. It's a mirror that shows what people become when no one is watching. The Red Room isn't just a stream, it's a symptom, a signal from the parts of humanity we pretend don't exist. And maybe that's why they let me live, because I clicked, I watched, and now I'm their messenger. If you ever see a Reddit comment that says, "Don't click this unless you're using Tor," don't think of it as a challenge. Think of it as a tombstone. Behind every link, there's a human story buried alive, and behind every story, someone waiting for you to join the feed. So before you go chasing the dark corners of the internet, before curiosity convinces you you're safe behind your screen, remember me. Remember the sound of that countdown, the flicker of that light, and the way silence can feel like someone breathing behind you. Don't go looking for what the web hides, because if you find it, it won't let you go. And if this video ever disappears, if my channel suddenly goes offline, just know it wasn't by choice. Like, subscribe if you believe in staying safe, and never ever click what's meant to stay unseen, because some streams don't end when the camera turns off, they just switch angles, and maybe right now they're watching you.